Welcome back to Talk Tonight. Drilling for natural gas is on hold in New York right now. Has been since 2008 when we first started hearing the phrase hydrofracking. The Department of Environmental Conservation began its environmental impact study back then, so good four-plus years ago. It's a debate many farmers across the state are following closely, not just farmers, but other landowners too. You just saw our Katie Corrado reporting on the potential impact of hydrofracking and how it's already affecting some people, where there's some drilling going on in northern Pennsylvania, and others who wish there was drilling going on, especially in the southern tier of New York State, as you get down, well, even southern Onondaga County, Cortland County, Madison, into Tompkins County, some areas that are right in the Marcellus Shale region where they really could be rich for pulling up natural gas out of the ground in the future. Michael Benny's joining us for the talk tonight, and we just saw a couple of the issues divided. It's difficult listening to people who have the stories, the horror stories of water that they believe they're dependent on well water. First of all, they don't live in a suburb or a city, and they believe that water's been contaminated by this drilling. And they have had harmful effects to their family.
Yeah,
it's
you
tough
heard
to watch.
that mom talking about her daughter and how she got sick and she was searching for answers, and it was just so confusing for them. They wanted to get to the bottom of whatever was affecting their family, and they really believe very strongly that hydrofracking is to blame for this. You know, it kind of flashes you back to the Aaron Brockovich movie, and what is going into this water. So for those folks, certainly I think everyone can understand why this would be really concerning for them.
It's taken a while for New York State to create a policy on this, and I think in the long run that's probably a good thing. Regardless of what the policy ends up being, you don't want to rush to do something that you find out 5 years later it was dangerous. So maybe by taking longer, they're going to fully understand the issues, which are complex, and be able to give some guidance. I think ultimately there'll be some drilling that's going on in New York State. It's not going to be near towns or communities, but probably out in the most rural areas, I would suspect.
Yeah, and this is such a political hot potato, which is why we see the governor coming out today saying that this review just simply can't be done. We've heard all sorts of it can't be rushed. It can't be done as right now. I mean, this was supposed to come out now.
Yeah.
But the governor has a lot of competing interest on this. Not only the lobby groups for farmers primarily, for municipalities who are against this, for the natural gas companies who can't wait to get their hands on some prime land in New York to drill and see what's down there for them. But he's got issues long beyond hydrofracking. He will not be the governor of New York State forever. He would, as many people believe, would like to be president someday. And an issue like hydrofracking, imagine the political ads with a woman like who was featured in Katie's story, who has that goopy water. Andrew Cuomo did this to my water. This is something that the governor wants to avoid at all costs, if it can be.
Let's listen to one farmer who really thinks it's time for New York to get on board with this.
This is such a bonus to our economy. It's the only thing that might save our economy from going over this cliff that we keep on hearing about. It's helping them survive in Pennsylvania. And they're buying new equipment, they're fixing up their homes, they're fixing up their barns. I haven't heard anyone complain, wish they would leave. Most of them are happy that they're there.
On the other hand, here's Carol French, who's complaining and concerned about her family's health.
We ended up experiencing rashes on our body, and I still have rashes. Not as bad, because I only shower in my water. I don't drink my water, nor do I drink the milk that we produce.
I mean, the interesting thing is if you look at both sides here, they don't really kind of want to believe each other. The folks who really support hydrofracking are looking at that woman saying it has to be something else, and she is probably looking at them thinking, how can you have your position? Look at what's happened to me.
She doesn't drink the milk she produces. When I heard that quote from her, I thought, my goodness, but that milk is being sold to other people.
We would assume so, yes.
We would assume that it is. Wow, that's something else.
I think what most people seem to agree on is that they do want to have some sort of energy independence for this country. So whether or not that's hydrofracking or something else, everyone really kind of seems to be wrapping their heads around trying to find some sort of solution for the future.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out maybe in the next few weeks or a couple months anyway. Our talk continues in a moment. This time we're switching gears to